Hi everyone. In the last class, we have discussed regarding pharmaceutical powders up to certain extent. In this class, we will discuss the remaining types of pharmaceutical powders. The first one here is effervescent powders. So what are effervescent powders? Effervescent powders are presented as single dose or multiple dose preparations. Means you can give this effervescent powder as a single dose preparation or it can be given as a multiple dose preparation. So what these effervescent powders will contain? These effervescent powders generally it contains acid substances. It generally contains acid substances and carbonates or hydrogen carbonates. It contains acid substances and carbonates or hydrogen carbonates which reacts rapidly in the presence of water to release carbon dioxide. So they are intended to be dissolved or dispensed. They are intended to be dissolved or dispersed in water before administration. So these are effervescent powders. So effervescent powders means what? Effervescent powders are mainly presented as single dose or multiple dose preparations. They can be given as a single dose preparation or they can be given as a multiple dose preparation. So what these effervescent powders will contain? These effervescent powders will contain acid substances, carbonates or hydrogen carbonates. So when they are presented in presence of water, they react rapidly and then they will release carbon dioxide. So a well and good example of this effervescent powder is Eno, which you will use for gas problem. So the Eno which you will use for gas problem, when you take that Eno packet and when you disperse it in water, it releases gases. So that is one of the best example for effervescent powder. Next one, efflorescent powders. So efflorescent powders are nothing but these are crystallized powders. This looks like crystals and this mainly contains water of hydration or crystallization. So these are mainly prepared. The powders are mainly prepared by crystallization technique and they look like crystals. They are like crystals. So what are the material which can be used for this? Alums, atropine sulfate, citric acid, caffeine and codeine. These can be prepared as an efflorescent powders. Next one is hygroscopic powders. So hygroscopic powders are nothing but the powders which can absorb moisture from the atmosphere. The powders which absorb moisture from the atmosphere are called as hygroscopic powders. Means when you keep this powder on any table or any desk, they will absorb moisture from the atmosphere and they will be turned into a liquid like substance. So such type of powders are called as hygroscopic powders. Next, eutectic mixture. So eutectic mixture is nothing but it is a mixture of two or more components when not normally interacts to create a new chemical substance. It inhibits the crystallization phase of one another at certain ratios, resulting in a system with lower melting point. So these eutectic mixtures will result in a system with lower melting point when you mix these eutectic mixtures together. And then the last one is geometric dilutions. Geometric dilution is nothing but it is the process of diluting something which is based on its measured size. So when you take its size, by based on the size, if you dilute it, means if you add this mixture with water, then such type of preparations are called as geometric dilutions. You can prepare it along exactly as that of its measured size. By based on its size only, you can prepare these dilutions. So that is why these are called as geometric dilution. So this is about pharmaceutical powders. Second part.